Hello, this is Joanna Rochester, Soul Alchemist, and this is Real Talk Soul Alchemy Wellness Edition. It's part of Speak Up and Empower's online community. We provide webcasts, we provide courses, everything that you need to find more in your life, more joy, more happiness, greater abundance of health, wealth, and love, whatever you're searching for. And today I wanted to talk to you about the profound effect that your thoughts have upon your health. Somehow, Western medicine, traditional, it's not traditional because traditional is natural therapies, but somehow the way that Western medicine sees us, our bodies, is as these separate pieces, right? If you've got a pain in your joint, you deal with the joint. If you've got a pain in, your stomach, you only deal with the stomach, instead of looking at taking a holistic approach to what's going on within your body and understanding that mentally, emotionally, or perhaps better, emotionally, spiritually, you affect your health on a grand scale. And until you deal with that mental emotional, then there is nothing that can be done in the physical level. So there are things that can be done at the physical level. We can all take a aspirin or Tylenol or Advil or whatever for a headache, or we can take a homeopathic remedy for our joints or muscles. But unless we're approaching a holistic approach, the spiritual, the emotional, the physical approach to your health and your abundance, then nothing will change in the long run. So that's what I want to talk to you a bit more today about how your thoughts affect your health. And I've been on other, I've been, in speaking with other groups, and people will say, well, what if someone's heavy set, or what if someone's hurt their shoulder? Well, we manifest what we're thinking about. So shoulders and neck are about are about anger. And so if we're angry at the world, we will often have pain in our shoulders, pain that's there, without us being aware of it. It's just a weight that we carry, or that we may actually hurt ourselves. We may hurt our shoulder, bump into something, but it's all part of our emotional, our spiritual manifestation of what's going on. So unless we deal with what's going on up here, and actually it's kind of funny because it's really not what's going on up here. It's what's going on in our soul that we need to move towards understanding more and releasing and changing. Because as much as we think that our thoughts are what our soul is looking at, really our thoughts are part of this physical body, as opposed to what our soul wants for us, because these thoughts are conscious, and it's our subconscious that truly controls us and truly takes us where we want to go. Thanks for joining us, everyone. So it really is an amazing journey. First, the first thing that you can do is to become aware. Start being that observer, being curious about your emotions, how they present themselves, being curious, notice your thoughts, being curious, almost walking around life, acting in like you're in the third person. So you can start to notice the things that you do and become more in tune, become more conscious, become more aware of what's going on. I don't like to focus on the weight within the body, but so often that is such a big thing for people, because when there's too much weight on your body, it restricts your energy level. You often don't feel very good. There are, perhaps you have structural issues because of that extra weight. And, with the society the way it is, things that are going on in the world right now, it can be really challenging to get to that right size body and to reach that place where you're comfortable in your own skin. And yes, we all should, woulda, shoulda, coulda. We should love our bodies exactly the way it is, but that doesn't mean, just like anything, that we are satisfied with what's taking place within us, because often that extra weight is creating health issues, is creating, once again, structural issues, joint issues, and may cause us damage down the road, because carrying around that extra weight isn't healthy for us. But so often that extra weight is just a manifestation of what's going on spiritually, emotionally, mentally, whether it's as a result of something that happened in your youth, a sexual trauma, a trauma of any sort, not being enough, not deserving to lose weight. All of these factors can cause us to hold on to our weight, to hold on to, and to shield ourselves, to protect ourselves, to not want to be seen. And a lot of times when we have extra weight, we may be seen, but not in the best way. And even that's another way, right, that we can get attention if we have extra weight. So there's so many factors here, and there's no judgment on any of them, but it is coming to explore for yourself what's really going on and becoming that observer and understanding how you have held on to that extra weight. And once again, it's not going back to some misinformed or some sensationalized idea of what your body should look like, but it's what your right size body is. And for some right size body, it's a heavier set body. Within my own family, we have a real mix of larger bone, medium bone, smaller bone, and we all are different sizes. And you know, the majority of us have some extra things to release. But so often, once again, it's not about the weight. It's about those thoughts that control us and keep us, block us from truly being the person that we want to be, that's in alignment with our soul and our lives. And so, you know, how do you get in touch? How do you understand and become to realize what your thoughts are? And this is a challenging part, because so often we don't step out of our heads. We are thinking constantly. Our heads are spinning. We're spending way too much thinking about the past or the future, and not being present. And when we can bring ourselves back to being present, we can truly change the way we live our lives, because we become aware of where we go. Right? Into the future, into the past, worrying, anxiety, depression, all of these things take us out of the right here and right now. And one of the simplest things to do, of course, is to breathe. And when we focus on our breath, it brings us back into the present. It brings us back into this moment right now, where we can recognize that we are spinning, or that we're thinking thoughts that are not for our best and our greatest good. We are thinking thoughts that are preventing us from truly understanding who we are. And, you know, so much of that is based upon our story. And our story, I spend a lot of time talking, whether it's in this webcast or I have another webcast on Thursdays at 12:30, just Real Talk Soul Alchemy. And it's more focused on the soul work that we're all moving towards. But if we can come to understand more about what is taking place within us by being focused instead on the inside instead of the outside, we can start to let go of that conscious hamster wheel that we can get caught on, and that we can be challenged to move out. Because so often, I think if we have like 40,000 thoughts a day, it's the numbers kind of depends, but so many of those thoughts are repetitive, and so many of those thoughts, unfortunately, are lower vibration or negative, tapping into lower emotions. We are psychologically driven to be attracted to the lower vibration thoughts because they're comfortable for us. We know them, we're used to them. And so we fall back on them all the time. And it's important for our own health, our wealth, our living that life of abundance that we all would like, to step out of that hamster wheel of those constant thoughts that we think about, and to move forward. But first we have to be aware that we're stuck there and that we have the same thoughts. And journaling is a great tool to use. Setting a timer on your phone, right? Once an hour or something like that. Where am I right now? Am I thinking about the past? Am I thinking about the future? Am I present? And perhaps included with that timer is also that practice of taking 5 deep breaths to bring you back to the present. Fill your body up with oxygen, which when we do those shallow breaths just into the top of our lungs, we don't get enough oxygen in to truly feed our brain and feed our body and to become more present. And a secret here also is that when you are breathing properly, those deep belly breaths that slow down your brain, slow down your body, your voice also tends to go lower. And those with lower voices are seen by both men and women as better leaders. So if you've got a higher voice and you want to be seen as a leader, you want to be recognized, then try those deep breaths. It will slow things down and bring depth to your voice. This is kind of the beauty of body language, understanding body language, but it's also part of intuition, because that recognition of lower voices, meaning leadership, is intuitive. So, whether you are born with sight or without sight, you will have the same body language, but whether or not you are able to, recognize or be aware that, oh, they've got a lower voice, that's not the way it works most of the time. So there's so many things that we do from that conscious or from the subconscious level without us even being aware of it, that when we can start to tap into that subconscious and understand it more, connect with it more, then we can start to tap into more of who we are and come to understand ourselves better and be able to come to awareness of what is blocking us, what is holding us back, what is limiting, what causing us to hold on to things. And so we can really start to change our lives from a holistic perspective when we can understand ourselves better and we can recognize where our mindset is, what we're focused on thinking about, what we're not focused on, which is being grateful for what we already have. And when we're in gratitude for what we already have, we will attract more into our lives. That's part of that law of attraction, right? We're focused on, oh, I'm so grateful that I have so many great friends, or I'm so grateful that I have great clients, and or so grateful that I have this amazing job, so grateful that I have this beautiful house that I live in, so grateful for the wonderful kids that I have. And and here's where, for those that are searching for a partner, so grateful for the amazing people that love me. And so maybe too much of a stretch to be truly grateful for your partner that you're searching for. But instead, if you can be grateful for all the love that you do have and the variety of ways that love comes into your life, then you will attract someone to bring you that. So it's a way of manifesting. Because, we hear all the time, be grateful for what you want. Well, be grateful for what you have, and it'll pull in what you want. And there's where, writing down, journaling, right? Thinking about all the different things that you would like in life and setting down your goals, whether it's about a partner or it's about a job or it's about a house. Put as many details down on a journal about what you're looking for, the details of it. If you're searching for a house, do you want it to be in a nice area? Do you want it to be in a safe area? Do you want it to be in an area that's close enough to your work that you can walk, or an area that has a community, an area that you can afford, an area that, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, whatever it is, put all those details down and go into as deep as possible so that you can then, that's your subconscious will start pulling that into your life. And not only pulling in the house, but pulling in the tools that will allow you to have the house. So if you're imagining a $1 million house, it may take you a little bit longer if you're only renting right now. But if you can give yourself some patience, and there's a whole other tool in itself, but have the patience to know the more you focus on the dreams that you're searching for, the true emotions that you're searching for, as opposed to the house or the job or whatever. But if you focus on the joy that you want to have in that house that you live in, and the pride that you'll take in it, then your subconscious will bring in the job that you can afford, or the course that you need to take in order to upgrade you, or the people that you need to meet. But it's all, once again, it's not once again, but it's about trusting in the universe, that it will bring you what you need in order to achieve those dreams that you're thinking of. And so to go back to that, the health and the losing that extra weight that you're carrying, if you can focus on, instead of, that you want to lose 20 pounds, but instead focus on the beauty of your body, and being grateful for the energy that you have to play with your kids or to go for a bike ride, the beauty of the clothes that fit you, all of these things, it will reset your mind to move towards what you're thinking of. Of course, if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm too heavy, oh my gosh, I look terrible in these clothes, it's that lower vibration, negative mindset that will keep you exactly where you are, even if you're dieting. And it's trusting the universe, and it's being grateful to the universe for what you have, that will give you the willpower also to be able to not eat the foods that aren't good for you, or the put in front of you the foods that aren't good for you. When we are truly in a place of gratitude and joy, we're at a higher vibration. And when we're at a higher vibration, we have more energy, and we have the strength and the discipline and the willpower to say, no, you know what? I deserve to be that ideal weight. I deserve to have the energy that I want. And that gives you the impetus to, cook different foods, or find out something different, try a different recipe. All these things start to add up and take us on a journey that will truly take us to a place where you are comfortable with who you are. And that journey of gratitude is one that becomes part of your life, and your mindset is changed so that your physical body can change. And so much of those lower vibrations energies also are carry a lot of weight in your body. Emotions are energy, and emotions can get stuck in your body, and they can carry weight, and they can prevent your body from functioning at a higher level. So there's so many things associated with this, the inflammation that can be carried because of the negative way of thinking. And so it's a long process and journey, but the first step towards achieving any health goals are to start to look at your thoughts and understand your thoughts better, and then to start to move towards releasing those thoughts. So the first thing to do, once again, is to be an observer in your life and start to notice your thoughts. If you carry a journal around with you, sometimes that really helps people, and write down, oh, I thought about this constantly today, or I was focused on this constantly today, or I heard myself say this to someone else. And this journey will bring awareness to your conscious thoughts, so that your subconscious can start to change them, can start to release them. And so at first you don't try and change those thoughts, just be aware of them. And then down the road, you can start to reconstruct those thoughts. And when you catch yourself thinking them, then you can start to say, no, that's not the way I am. This imbalance that I'm carrying around within my body is not something that is working for me anymore. And, instead of focusing on how awful you feel, right, it's starting to think of flipping it around and start thinking about how good you can feel. And, it can be a challenge. I know that with everything that's taking place in the universe lately, I've had a fair number of headaches and nausea that goes along with that. And it's challenging to have positive thoughts when you're feeling so crappy. But it is like anything, the more that you can start asking and set your intent to start to feel better, ideally you can move towards it, utilizing that change in the thought process, but also turning to the natural therapies for help. So now I know when I have those headaches that there are natural therapies. I use some homeopathic remedies. I use some CBD oil. I use there's homeopathic CBD, or not CBD, but it's based upon cannabis. There's homeopathic remedies for cannabis that can help me with the headaches, can help me with the nausea. I change the way that I eat in those days, and it's a much lighter diet, et cetera, et cetera. But it's also tapping into that subconscious to understand where it's coming from and moving forward and reaching out and asking for help. So there's a lot of stuff shared today, but I think, the very first step that we can all take, if we haven't taken it already, is to tap in to our thoughts, tap into our emotions, tap into the spiritual energy that we're tapping into. Do we hang out with people that are negative? Do we watch the news a lot? Do we get caught up in that collective consciousness, that energy of the fear, of the anxiety about what's taking place in the world right now? It's very challenging right now because everyone, of course, talks about COVID. Everyone talks about the vaccine. Everyone wants to know, what are you doing? What's going on? But the more we can step out of those conversations or just not participate, sometimes we can't step out, but some more it's coming to understand ourselves better and stepping away from it. So I hope this helped a bit today and shared with you some steps that you can take to understand that your thoughts, your emotions are creating the life that you're living right now. Whether it's, an awareness that, you are causing these physical imbalances. But even if you haven't been aware previously of what your thoughts were that were manifesting the physical imbalances, now is the time to just start exploring it, start paying attention to what's going on. Years ago, when I developed Graves' disease, which is a hyperthyroid autoimmune condition, I was not aware at all of what my thoughts were. I was not in touch at all with any of my emotions or anything like that. But the Graves' disease was a gift, and it taught me to get back in touch with who I am, to start to pay attention to this holistic person and start to change. But the first thing was an awareness. First of all, that I had the physical symptoms, and they were all adding up to the Graves' disease, which at first, took me months to realize that, there's really something going on here. And then after that, it was, what can I do to change or to move forward from this physically, emotionally, and spiritually? And so if you can start that process, then you can truly change your life, because it is a mental, emotional, not so much, the mental, because we're our thoughts, but it's not a mental imbalance, but it is that spiritual, emotional process affects our physical. And so we can deal with the physical, but unless we deal with that spiritual and emotional, we will not change the physical in the long run. So what are you doing right now to change your health, to change your wellness? And I'd love to think that it's starting to become more aware. So Joanna Rogister, Soul Alchemist. Check out my YouTube channel, Joanna Rogister, Soul Alchemist, and I upload my webcast twice a week there. And also my Instagram page, Soul Alchemist. I'm going to start tapping back into that and doing some short Instagram videos just to start sharing on a more regular basis, little blips and blurbs, etc., etc. This is part of Speak Up and Empower's online community of heart-centered people that want to change the way we all see the world. So check out speakupandempower.com. We have conversations that change the way you see the world. See you next Thursday, this Thursday at 12:30 for Real Talk Soul Alchemy. The topics each week are kind of what the universe guides me to. So have an amazing day, and we'll see you later.